Okay, Dr. Navan, thank you very much for your input, but stay on with me because there are developments that are taking place. Now, Israel has urged Gaza-bound Global Sumud Flotilla to offload its aid at the nearby foreign port for safe transfer to Gaza, insisting it will enforce its naval blockade and bar vessels from entering the active combat zone. Meanwhile, Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has announced he will send a warship to protect the flotilla following recent drone attacks. Italy has also called on the flotilla to hand over its aid to the local Catholic Church for distribution, aiming to reduce risks after the vessels were targeted overnight. Italy deployed a Navy ship to assist after the flotilla was attacked by the 12 drones in international waters near the Greek island of Gavdos. Here's what the Spanish and the Italian Prime Ministers had to say.
En este sentido, sí quisiera decir que el Gobierno de España exige que se cumpla la ley internacional y que se respete el derecho de nuestros ciudadanos a navegar por el Mediterráneo en condiciones de seguridad. Por eso les informo de que mañana mismo zarpará desde Cartagena un buque de acción marítima equipado con todos los medios por si fuese necesario asistir a la flotilla y realizar algún rescate.
Guardi, intanto chiaramente la mia condanna di quello che è accaduto stanotte è totale e ovviamente insomma stiamo facendo le nostre indagini per avere certezze insomma sulle responsabilità, dopodiché come avete visto il ministro Crosetto ha autorizzato nave Fasana ad avvicinarsi per chiaramente garantire, se fosse necessario, soccorso, assistenza alle persone che dovessero essere in pericolo, anche se non è previsto l'uso della forza militare.
Activists, including Swedish campaigner Greta Thunberg, are aboard the flotilla, which aims to break Israel's blockade and deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza. Back on the telecast with me is Dr. Navan. Dr. Navan, do you think it is justified to hit the flotillas that are coming in from Europe that are carrying humanitarian aid?
Well, the purpose of those flotillas is not to bring humanitarian aid. The purpose of those flotilla is to make selfies for the social media. Israel is supplying the Gaza Strip with humanitarian aid in huge amounts. And those people are only trying to break a blockade which was imposed, by the way, not only by Israel, but also by Egypt. It's a military blockade to prevent the entry of illegal armament, mostly from Iran, to the Gaza Strip. And it is a legal blockade recognized as such by the United Nations. And therefore, the purpose of this flotilla is only for public relations and not to actually bring humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip. Israel will not accept those provocations, even though all those selfie and narcissist people who are coming on the flotilla, if they would be allowed to enter the Gaza Strip, let me tell you that Hamas will deal with them in a very cruel manner. So I wonder what would happen to them. Actually, I don't wonder what would happen to them if they would be let into the Gaza Strip. But as I said, it is a legal and legitimate military blockade imposed both by Israel and Egypt, and the humanitarian aid is provided by Israel in huge amounts to the Gaza Strip.
Right, absolutely. This is not the first time a flotilla carrying humanitarian aid has been struck by the Israeli forces. At this point of time, the Italian Prime Minister and the Spanish Prime Minister have intervened. The Spanish Prime Minister, in fact, has said that it is going to be sending a warship to protect the flotilla. How is the Israeli government going to respond? Do you think this is going to escalate tensions between Europe and Israel?
Well, first of all, it is not the first time that Pedro Sanchez, the Spanish Prime Minister, makes outrageous and irresponsible statements. He did this recently when he publicly lamented the fact that Spain does not have a nuclear weapon to use it against Israel. This is Pedro Sanchez. He also encouraged hooligans to attack Israeli sports people who were taking part to the biking competition in Spain. This man is completely out of control. His threat to send a military ship to the area is also irresponsible because Spain is a member of NATO. And of course, Israel, no matter what, will enforce the legal and legitimate military blockade. If Spain wants to take the risk of a military confrontation, it is for the Prime Minister to decide, but I'm sure that other NATO members, especially the United States, will bring Mr. Sanchez back in his box where he belongs.
Okay, thank you very much for joining me and sharing your views. Shifting our